The Tree Crop Development Authority had been at the center of Ghana's drive that with respect to agriculture export and also boost farmer incomes. I'm joined by the Chief Executive Officer of the Tree Crop Development Authority, Dr. Andy Osei Okra, to help me unpack, what's happening within this space, what lies ahead of him, and the plans with respect to this particular sector. Doc, grateful to have you. Now, let's start. It's been 8 months since you were appointed. How is it going so far?
Thank you very much, James. I would say so far so good. It's been a very interesting journey, a compelling one, and I like challenges. So I could say it's challenging at the same time fulfilling. So far so good.
Now, the big question out there had to do with the mandate of TCDA. There are quite a number of people who seem not to know your mandate, your objectives. Can you run us through what TCDA is all about?
Thank you very much. As you rightly said, it's true. TCDA is a nascent, growing organization, barely 5 years since its existence. TCDA, that is Tree Crop Development Authority, was established by an Act of Parliament, Act 1010 of 2019. And then the authority itself was launched on September 2020. And then further on to 2023, the legislative instrument LI 2471 to operationalize the act was also promulgated. So that is how that short journey has been. And the simple mandate, if I'm to put it, is the Tree Crop Development Authority is set up to regulate and develop the production, the promotion, and the marketing of 6 selected strategic crops that I call it as COMS. COMS in the sense that the first C COMS. The first C is cashew. Second, coconut. Then we come to oil palm. We come to rubber, mango, and share. That's the 6 selected crops. That's C COMS. I repeat it again: cashew, coconut, oil palm, rubber, mango, and share. So the Act set these 6 crops and gave the mandate to tree crops to ensure its regulation and development, so that Ghana can benefit financially and economically from these 6 selected crops. The reason and the rationale being that over the years, Ghana has depended a lot on cocoa. Cocoa has been our backbone, as you all learn in school. The backbone of agriculture for economy for Ghana is cocoa. And cocoa has done well and continue to do well. But there are other economic essential crops, tree crops we also have in Ghana here. And that's what the framers at that time realized, that we can depend on these 6 crops, and that can also be the game changer for our economy. So the Tree Crop Development Authority was set up to ensure its development and its regulation. So that is our mandate to ensure that in terms of all the actors in these 6 crops, from cashew down to share, are properly regulated. And if I say regulation, that means you are able to license, register, and license them, put structures in there for them, put some environmental and conducive environment for them to thrive, make sure their pricing systems, make sure development in terms of production and productivity goes on. There are several things that goes with that. So that is the mandate. So and when it comes to these 6 crops in Ghana here, then is this authority responsible for its regulation and development.
Since you were appointed, I've seen you go, you've done some number of trips, going across the country and all of that. Now, one will be wondering, how is this going to contribute to our economy, especially the agricultural space? Also, we understand it's also more or less a way to diversify our export with respect to agriculture produce and all of that. So the question here is, how is this going to contribute to our economy?
Thank you very much. As I've indicated, I think as a country, we have realized that if we diversify and put less of our strength not only on cocoa, and rather focus on these 6 crops, then it will be the game changer. So one, in terms of food security, cashew is food. They even call it that it's a poor man's food and rich man's business. If you take coconut, all of us drink coconut and eat coconut. If we invest in that, coconut alone can change the financial scheme of the country. Then we come to oil palm. So again, this is real gold. Rubber is another huge industry. Mango, these are the new areas. Shea, as you know, shea butter goes everywhere, and a lot of confectionaries use shea. So if we are able to invest well and get the production, more production and productivity in these 6 selected crops, then obviously it's the economy of the country that is being changed. Because if we are able to, one, add value to them, produce more, and then add value before we export, of course, it's going to bring in a lot of forest to the country. It will create a lot of jobs. I mean, look at right from nursery, how to even raise the seedlings down to the final product. It's all jobs across its value chain. So it's an area to be able to expand in terms of job creation and in terms of economic value, money being added to our economy. So if, for instance, we have a strategy that is only looking at if we are able to invest the needed infrastructure, the needed capital into these 6 crops, averagely we think that annually each of these crops should be able to give us $2 billion US. And if we are able to get 2 billion averagely from these 6 crops, we multiply by 6, we have 6 billion annually coming from that. And that alone is huge enough to change the structure of our economy. And that is why we think that we need to focus on the tree crop sector and make sure that people really know that this is an area, an economic area, an agriculture sector that needs to be given attention to create the needed jobs for us, and then the requisite finances that go with it.
Now, what have been the challenges within this space since you took over?
The challenges are huge, as you know. One, people are not aware of the authority. So they don't know that when it comes to these 6 crops, the Tree Crop Development Authority, TCDA, is mandated to regulate and manage and develop. So a lot of people are handling at that. And before the emergence of the tree crop, others were handling these crops in their sectors. So now there's lack of coordination. So some are still handling, and then it's not coordinated very well. And what recently we had a policy dialogue to bring all these things to the fore so that people will get to know that when it comes to these 6 selected crops, the place to go and the right authority, the apex authority mandated to do that is the tree crops, where we have to coordinate. And then we can work alone and liaise with the relevant institutions to do that. So in terms of coordination and people getting to know about the authority is key, is a challenge. And we are working hard and harder for people to know about Tree Crops Development Authority and what we are there for. The other one is also about the industry itself. If you take each value chain, we have issues. Take oil palm, for instance. We know oil palm is doing very well. It goes into the final refinery. There are a lot of vegetable oils that we are taking. We only know of them. We think it's only the palm nut soup that we drink. But a lot of things are being done using oil palm. And because of that, there are a lot of influx of vegetable oils, illicit ones from neighboring countries. And that is affecting the sector. You could see that people are bringing vegetable oil and then crude oil from other countries through our neighboring borders and gets here, and that comes to flood the market, and that affects the oil palm industry. So the industry is also struggling. That's another. So they are on us, and we are the authority responsible to regulate and then make sure that there's sanity in that. We come to rubber. Okay, rubber too are complaining. Yes, they are not getting enough and are not getting access to the raw material. Something that they are exporting outside, the raw cap lamps. So they want it to be bound and all. So several things. So we need to make sure that we get to the people on the ground, understand it, and then see how best we can provide solutions to that. So these are all challenges. The same thing goes to share. The share to go to the north, yes, the women are the biggest pickers, they are picking it, and others are too as exporting, that others are also processing. Then processors think that they are not getting the share. So we need to also stop some people. So we are in a situation where we have to ensure that all the value chain, right from pickers down to the processor, get what they need, and they have to all be in business and they have to be working. So that is what we are dealing with. But what is so good is, I think that what is good is stakeholder engagement. And we have done a lot, and we are going to do more. That will be on the ground. We really understand what the farmers' challenges are and how we can come to their aid and support them. We go to what the traders also need, we go to what exporters also need, and then processors need. So engaging with one another and they coming out with the solutions is what we are focusing on. So these are some of the challenges, apart from the normal getting the needed resources that you need to be able to do that, we are facing. But the real one is the industry players themselves to realize that TCDA is there to regulate. First of all, if you want to play any role, you need to be an actor, registered and licensed to do that. So we are drumming home this message for them to know, and then come to our aid, or we'll reach out to them to be able to regularize the system and the industry that they are operating in.
You spoke about the oil palm. I personally come from a farming community, which of course we seem to have some of these problems. How is the authority making sure that since there is an influx of these oil palm into the country, how do you cut that? Are we producing enough to meet the demands out there, or what exactly is the case?
Yes, as you said, Ghana produces almost 400,000 metric tons, or consume 400,000 metric tons of vegetable oils, and out of this, almost 350 is produced here. The deficit of about 150,000 is coming from outside. The industry has the capacity to produce that, but because of the illicit influx of this oil. So TCDA, together with the Oil Palm Development Association of that, and other relevant stakeholders, i.e. the police, immigration, national security, are coming together, and with our sister body, Guta and the rest, we are teaming up to understand that this is about the country, and we need to protect investment, and we need to create jobs. So we need to address this illegal situation. So very soon you'll see, as we are embarking on a lot of education, that first of all, if you are into any oil importation, into any vegetable oil business, a palm oil business, you need to identify yourself with TCDA. We have to register you and give you a license. If you are going to import any oil, you need our permit to be able to do that. So that's the first thing to start with. So if you are not a registered member or a registered actor, you don't have the license to do that, and it's illegal, and the law has to take a course. So we are going to embark, and we are embarking on education to do that. At the same time, then we also get to where the loopholes are, the borders where people smuggle these things. So together with customs and GRA, together with police, we make sure that these things can curtail. Whilst doing that, then our refineries are able to produce, and then produce and serve the market, so that they continue to create jobs for Ghanaians, and then we'll have sanity in the system. Now the situation we have come to meet, it appears that it's free for all. People who are not registered on license, they are not paying any tax, or because of that, they can bring in their product and sell it cheaper, just to disrupt the system. So we need, as a regulator, to ensure that there's fairness and there's sanity in the industry.
Still, I want to stay a while on the oil palm sector again. From where I come from personally, I've done more or less some palm nut farming before in the past. In most cases, you have these farmers, they harvest, and now the option left is where do we take it? So you hear a lot of farmers saying now local parlance fancy, they say there are no buyers. I know that we have the Benz oil palm and all of that. What is the engagement like with the TSA and also these institutions like Benz oil palm plantation?
I think as for buyers, they are there. They have a lot. We have the Benzo, we have the Chifo, we have a lot of these big companies who are looking for the oil and palm produce to buy. They are there, and there are other even artisanal ones that they are also there to engage and then access these products to buy. We are going to do a lot of market access, a lot of promotion for them to know that these are the areas. TCDA, one of our work is promotion. So we promote all the actors, and then all these people serve on our boards, right from farmer, right from trader, right from aggregator to the processor. They are all on our board. So, and the board is also by associations. So we know. So that's people are not aware. So in terms of getting access to your products, you have places that you can send to. We just have to. That's the reason why you need to register with the authority, identify yourself. So in terms of capacity building, we build your capacity, direct you to the right places where you can get your produce purchased, or if it's about even funding, you can assist. In fact, the oil palm, the president himself has stated it. That is the game changer, that we want to learn from what Malaysia did and tap into the global funds that's in there. So we want to focus, we want to expand. They said, as you're speaking, we want to get a national, comprehensive national policy that will drive home big plantations, and then that will bring a lot of produce that can be processed, and we can leverage on that to transform the economy. So it's an area that we are putting attention to. So in terms of getting products for your market and everything, it is there, but we need to engage with us and know what TCDA is doing together with our OPDAT, that's the Association for Oil Palm Association that we are dealing with, and they can assist you in doing that.
I've worked on quite a number of your stories. Let's move straight to the cashew space. In one of the stories, I saw land encroachment. What's the stage of that? Is the TCDA doing anything, engaging local authorities, or what exactly?
Yes, I think that was when we went to Wenchi. So the Sion Bank, the research station, that as a national asset, as a strategic national asset, we saw some encroachment in the years. I think after that story, the regional minister himself, the district chief executive himself, and in fact, the chief themselves are taking it up to make sure that it's done. In fact, I'm going to make another trip there and go and see the situation now. But since that story, I know the authorities there, their attention were it was brought to their attention, and then they did something about it, which is very, very, very good. So we will go back. So when we go back, we'll ensure that that encroachment at that strategic location is stopped. Quite apart from that, in terms of encroachment, I did not be on the research, but we don't have it as an issue. It's only at the research center that we had that encounter. I'm trying to protect that for the nation.
Now, I want to get some clarification with respect to the unchecked export of TCDA raw commodities. Can you do a bit of clarification with respect to that?
Good. In fact, I must say that if we say unchecked export, is really a wrong connotation. And that's how probably some of you media think. If there's anything that we can even say, this is the time that TCDA is really regulating and checking export of all raw products. When we came in, there wasn't anything like that. So first of all, because we came in around February 18th, and then March, we've gone to the field. We are assessed every situation, and we started registering actors. And then we even brought in that apart from you being a registered and licensed actor to do business, if you want to export rubber, caplans, raw share, then cashew, you need a permit from TCDA before you can do any of these things. And then that has been amazing. It wasn't like that before since President Mahama took office. So now we have data that if you want to export rubber now, we know. And since we took office, I can tell you that we came to meet about 5 registered exporters. That was on the books. And so far, it's only 1 exporter who exists. And that should even tell you that the number, because if you don't have what it takes to be licensed, that means you can't get involved in the business. 2, even if you have what it takes to be licensed and you are licensed and you want to export raw caplans, we need our permit to be able to do that. And it's not easy getting the permit. Not that we are putting impediments, but because per our regulation, Section 50, we want to reserve some for the local market. That's what the law says. If you want to export 10, you say we can't give you 10, we can give you 2. So this is the time, and we have data. So as I'm saying, it's only 1 exporter since we took office has been here. And since then, the quantity that you're saying, you can say it's a very marginal quantity. So if you say unchecked, that is not right. And again, if you realize those stories didn't come with any facts.
Okay.
And then Ghana, you can just say anything and go in anyway. But I can tell you that I'm saying the quantity that has been exported as raw, we know. And it's far, far below what we came to meet. And it's, as I was saying, only 1 exporter. Those who has even per information and data received, think that we have even exported any of these products without our permit. Are currently going through investigation and they are ready to face sanctions and stuff like that. So this is the time that TCDA is really checking and regulating raw products in the country. President Mahama, under the resetting, one of the focus areas in resetting agenda is making sure that the raw products cannot just go outside, but the ones who allow you to go, then you have passed through the system, because we want to activate, and we are activating our section, our mandate that allows raw materials to be processed here locally. So that is what the situation is. So it's never unchecked. It's rather overchecked. I would say so.
Now, talking about the resetting agenda, I know one of the flagship programs for this government had to do with the feed program. I don't know your role as TCDA in the feed program. If you could run us through.
Thank you very much. And this is one of the laudable initiatives that President John Dramani Mahama brought, that Feed Ghana program. The Feed Ghana program, as Tree Crop Development Authority, we are responsible for feeding the industry. So it was clear when the president was launching it, it said that the Tree Crop Development Authority will be empowered to feed the industry. In the sense that that's where we cause is looking at value addition and we are looking at industrialization. So we want more of processing factories to be set up. So it's our duty to produce more of this cashew. And because of that, there's a project under the under TCDA. We're running a World Bank project where we are increasing the number of cashew farms that we are giving free seedlings to farmers. Over 53,000 farmers are going to benefit from that free seedlings. Other agronomic practices that we are going to engage in, fertilizer here and there, matching grants, all geared towards productivity and expansion of our produce, so that we can get enough to feed the industry. So our role is produce more and feed industry. Our role is regulate the system and ensure that there's sanity in the system, so that processors can add value and not just mere value. We want to have value to it. For instance, if you take rubber, it's not just using the first stage and taking the water and getting the TSR. But we want to get a stage where you can continue to produce firestones. We remember we're doing tiles here. That is we are doing, some are coming out with doing gloves and stuff like that. Even condom, people can do that. That's where we want to do, add value to it. So it's done here in the country. That's the value addition. So it is our role as TCDA to ensure that we feed the industry with the raw materials.
Talking about feeding the industry with raw materials, going through some of the stories I worked on. Now, the question is, how would the engagement be like with respect to these industries? I know you've gone across the country. Are you going to embark on this quarterly? Would it be yearly, or what exactly? How is it going to be like?
Oh, I said, this is tea crops. Let me also mention this. It's the only public sector authority that's a private sector led. We have 29 member board. 24 of them come from the private sector. So all the value chain from the farmer, as I said, each crop, if you take rubber, the 4 value chain, farmer, trader, exporter, and processor, they are all on the board. So continuously we are engaging. And in the Act, we have rubber value chain committee. We have cashew value chain committee. So we are together working. They are even coming out with the strategies, coming the recommendations to the board, advising the board what to do as a sector. So already there's that engagement there. And these people are also, they come in as a result of their associations. They have processors association. They are supposed to elect their person to be on the board. You have exporters association, traders association. So you come under association. So already, whatever is going on, you're already engaging with your then TCDA as a whole. Apart from these people on the board, we also embark on mass education in terms of meeting farmers as a farmer group, visiting their locations, visiting their farms where they are, and then engaging them, traders engaging them. So it's a continued education. Recently, we've launched our communication plan and strategy, and how there are several things that we are going to do. Some are going to be documentaries, some are going to be jingles, are going to be one-on-one education here and there. So that's what we are going to do, and we have started doing, so that together with them, we engage and they understand us, we understand them. We are there to serve their needs. We are not doing the things on our own. Whatever will benefit them is what we are supposed to do. So our continuous engagement will let us serve them better. So that is our plan, and that's what we are doing.
You've more or less answered my next question. That had to do with the plan and the vision. But then, now the question is, we have 3 years ahead of us. So the next election, how do you sort of make sure these plans get to the full realization we have with respect to this particular space?
Thank you very much. As you said, we have come in under President Mahama's resetting agenda and under his big overarching initiative called Agriculture for Economic Transformation Agenda. Agriculture is one of the pillars that President Mahama is using to transform the economy the next few years ahead of us. And under it, we have also come with a strategic vision simply called CCOMS Beyond Cocoa. I've explained the CCOMS for you. So we think that if cocoa won, and then 6 of the crops, so we think that is beyond cocoa. And out of this, if we position, we have a plan set that if you are able to put and do the necessary investment that we needed to do, what cocoa is giving us will be more than that. So even though it's 4 years, we believe that if we see what we have come to meet, if take any of our products, take share, take rubber, if we are able to put the necessary strategic plans in place, then it will go even beyond us the next 4 years. You are thinking in the next 3 years that the plans we have read, that we have a vision 2030, we have vision 2020.
So that will be in the next 5 years?
The next 5 years. We've set ourselves that vision beyond, comes beyond cocoa, where each crop has a strategic plan, to see the next 5 years where we are taking it from, where we met and where we are taking it to. And that's what will ensure the sustainability of the productivity that we are looking for.
Doc, that was supposed to be my last question, but then are your farmers being affected by illegal mining?
Of course, illegal mining is a canker in the country. And I'm happy the way President Mahama has decided and strongly attacking to address it. As he said, he would definitely react and stop Galamsey. Fortunately for us, tree crops, we are not affected under this area. Just few patches here that we've had, but it's not an issue largely for the tree crop sector. Just few areas. Some individuals wanted to sell their cashew farms to illegal, and immediately we have to nip them in the bud. The same thing, we also had a few patches where some people want to cut down rubber and then do certain things quickly.
I think that's very common around the Western region.
Yes, Western region. So we have to deal with them. So we believe that with the government, the President Mahama's initiative, and together with what government is doing to arrest and then deal drastically with the illegal miners, we believe that one will help. And at the same time, we are also embarking on education, letting them know the value of these crops. And then if you are able to create jobs out of that, the young people, if they are able to see the value of the jobs we want to create. Now, we are going to launch a president's own legacy project. You see the number of jobs that legacy project will create for them. They get to know the value. They are getting jobs. They are going to see the effects that these things are going to come on. If you are able to educate young people and the women very well, I think now they will understand that Galamsey is more risky and you can get yourself into this one that can create you a sustainable job. So more education needs to be done so that people get to know and understand the value the tree crop sector brings. And then you will stop, even if you are thinking of Galamsey, will stop. Fortunately, as I indicated, it's not much in our areas, and we believe that we have to stop them immediately before it comes to attack us.
But do you have a target with respect to job creation that had to do within your space?
I don't want to give any jobs, figures. But as I told you, if it's even one, and then we have 6 times 5. If it's 1, and multiply 6 by 5, how many do you get?
6 times 5, that's 30.
6, 5, 30. So we are looking at big figures. But very soon, I don't want to preempt, very soon when we are really launching out legacy project, launching out our the Vision 2030, these figures will be out there for us to be able to assess them. That we believe that we will create jobs for our youth and our women. And the more in terms of forest money also be added. All those things will be quantified at the end of the day.
How soon should we expect this launch?
Very soon, very, very soon. We still have some few months to go by the end of the year, to the end of the year. So plans are being scheduled to do it before. Earlier on, we thought we were going to have our first Made in Ghana Tree Crop Investment Fair, which we slated for September, but because of circumstances beyond control, we shifted it to next year, February 17th to 20th. And we believe that by that time, everything will be in place. And we'll announce, and together with the media, yourself, be able to get these figures and be able to do it. And I know, yes, since we even started from February, we have seen the trajectory that we are going, and we believe that if you are able to do that, I'm not quick to just mention figures just to make people happy, no. But we will get the figures to let you know that this is the number of people. I mean, if it's 1, it's even better than none. So that is what we plan to do. And we will share with you, and we can all track the process we are following.
Grateful to have you, Doc. So I've been speaking to the Chief Executive Officer of the Tree Crop Development Authority. He's in the person of Dr. Andy Osei Okra. He's been helping me delve into the prospect, also the challenges with respect to this particular sector, his plans, visions, and also strategies going forward. My name is James Vichen.